last name?
Karakaian.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the Unlock live stream. We are here live every single Tuesday at 2 o'clock Eastern, bringing you all sorts of different real estate knowledge, tips and tricks, guest speakers, anything that you would need to know to buy and manage long-term rental properties and run a successful real estate business. So my name is Jessie Lang. If you guys don't know me, we own a large rental portfolio here in Columbus, Ohio. And I teach people how to buy and manage 1 to 3 rental properties per month on autopilot. So if that's something that you're interested in, reach out to me, reach out to Lizzie, and would absolutely love to have you. And today, our guest is Nick Karakaian with ArcFluence, who is a local architect firm. And Nick and I, actually, we go way back.
We go way back.
How long have we known each other?
Early. 6 years?
Yeah, 5-6 years. And I really started my real estate career here in Columbus about 2017. So it was really from the beginning, honestly.
I have watched you soar.
Oh, thank you. And Nick and I actually, we have a personal relationship as well as a professional relationship because we manage the Central Ohio Investor Network coin. It's a local real estate meetup group, and we're going to give you all the information if you're local, how you can join our group, or if you're not local, you're watching across the nation, how you can find a group similar in your own area. And then Nick, what do we do when we're putting together coin meetings? What all are we doing?
I mean, big picture, we have a free meetup. That's the largest free meetup in Columbus. And our goal is really to educate people and inspire people that this isn't too big for anyone to handle. And I don't know. We all want to win, right? And we all want a little bit more. And we all want to grow and have that satisfaction and that fulfillment in life. An extra stream of income on the side that you built yourself, that you have more control over than your day job, is so empowering. I can't tell you how it's changed my life. So we just want to bring that message and kind of the tactics and perspectives from different types of investors to coin so that we can all chat about it and grow together.
Yes. And so that's exactly what we do is we put on an in-person meetup. We have sponsors, all of that. And Nick, what do you say, like, from a attendee's point of view, like what are some of the biggest success stories or kind of outcomes that you've seen from our group?
We've had people that have larger net worths than we do now. Like I've seen people like stars shine, right? So as long as you have the right tools and you're around the right people, obviously the 5 people you spend the most time with is who you're probably going to be the average of. So, I mean, if you're getting around other investors, having those conversations, having that in your life, then you're typically going to do more of that thing, right? What you focus on expands.
Yeah, absolutely. And a little bit, we do it partially out of the goodness of our heart and because we love it, but like I can speak for myself, but why do you take all the time and energy out of your own busy schedule to put on a coin network event?
At first it was ego because I admired the people who started the group, and they have since retired or moved on. And they were my mentors, right? So just seeing them and wanting to be like them, I naturally wanted to do what they did.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can do this. And, and when eventually everyone left and it was me, and then it was left to me to continue the group and find other leaders like you to keep everything going. So now it's almost like when you do something for so long, you kind of just get used to it, right? It's super hard at first, but eventually you're able to navigate it and deal. So it's not as big of a lift as it used to be, especially like through COVID and everything else. And now I'm starting to get a lot of pleasure and growing the team and having not just networking with strangers and then even people who come every month, but also like having people who have really stepped up and helping grow this organization into something that's more than just like, hey, we're meeting every 3rd Tuesday. Oh, we do have a speaker. I think it's going to be great. I don't know if the mic's working or I don't know the food situation.
That was the old days.
Yeah, so we've really kind of made it something that's organized and professional and a lot of fun. And I think we're only gonna, every year it gets better.
Yes. Yeah, exactly right. And I can agree with all that. And I can also add, I put in my time, energy, and effort absolutely free of charge. And a lot of it is selfless, but it is not fully selfless, you guys, because I am building my own network. And that's what we're here to talk about is networks and community and the power of that. So I'm able to stand in front of a room of other investors and explain something I'm passionate about and be seen as a leader in my community. And that has brought me more opportunities, more partnerships than I could ever imagine without that. And I want to the point of this live stream is to show you guys that that's possible for you too. Now you don't have to like put on a networking event every month because it is a lot of work, but you can attend a networking event and get a lot of those same benefits. So Nick, like what are, go ahead.
No, go ahead, ask me.
You were like, what are some things that from an attendee's point of view that they should be looking for when finding a networking group or getting the courage to show up for the first time?
Yeah. So when I first started going to Coin, I had a fourplex, right? 8 years ago. And I really didn't feel like I was, moving the needle in terms of this or that. But there's more to, and there's so many different ways to make money as an investor in real estate. Like there's dozens of different ways, right? But there's also related industries. So like maybe you're an architect, maybe you're a contractor, maybe you're a real estate agent. Maybe you're a lender. There's all these different folks that show up that can help. Like you got to build a team whenever you're doing real estate. So, and there's just a lot of moving parts and pieces. You're not expected to be an expert in every single field. That's absurd. You'd never have a break. So you have to build that team. So I can go there maybe being good in one thing and knowing nothing about a lot of other things, hoping that me being around those people will give me the opportunity to learn at least the basics so that when I do hire my team, I'm able to like trust but verify. And also just find a new, what if I want to scale? Sometimes you need more than one contractor, or sometimes you need more than one property manager, or sometimes you need a partner to do a larger deal that you might not have the experience with or have the comfort level. Just like the land acquisition that we just did. Like I wouldn't probably not done that by myself, but because I have met the right people and I'm putting myself in these positions, I was able to create those opportunities.
If you guys don't follow Nick or their like nesters or any thanks for visiting, Nick, tell us a little bit about your ecosystem because the land acquisition has a really, really cool project coming.
Yeah, so Rich Hollow Retreat eventually will be a luxury resort with a bunch of different unique builds that are, zero carbon footprint, 3D printing, mirror houses, tree houses, A-frames, a really cool experience with potentially a private lake and miles of hiking trails and biking trails and a lot of fun stuff to do in nature.
Well, I know I'll be there on opening weekend.
You're invited anytime. Right now, it's mostly trees. But if you like the woods, you're welcome to come down. It's beautiful.
And you would, yeah. In Hocking Hills, is it?
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's just north in Hocking near Amanda.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have been able to take down that project without someone that you met through a networking event. Is that safe to say?
That's safe to say.
Yeah, y'all. So we say your next business bestie. You never know who you're going to meet. So if someone out there is like, well, I don't live in Columbus, I don't have a coin meetup, like how would someone find something similar in their own area?
There are a lot of different circumstances that can happen in your life, and what I would hopefully it's something that you're interested in. But like for example, my wife and her business partner Annette is a great story. They created this amazing brand called Thanks for Visiting that is international at this point, and they met at a city council meeting in Columbus, Ohio, when they were going to outlaw Airbnbs, and they were just showing up for our own interests of like keeping up the good fight, having their input, and hearing what the community has to say regarding like some of the negatives that were going on at the time with like parties, etc. And they ended up sitting next to each other, and they hit it off. They got coffee. One thing led to another. They're best friends. They're business partners. And
Years later.
So yeah, this was before COVID. So this was probably 2099, 2000. I don't know. I can't remember.
99.
Or,
2019.
2019. Yeah. 2018.
So yeah, it doesn't have to be a network event necessarily. Like you could meet someone who's going to change your life anywhere. But could you imagine that people showing up to a networking event may already have the mindset that they're also here to meet someone? And so you're all coming in with the mindset of connecting, right? So how would you express to someone like the open mind and the chance encounter and all that?
You know, it's funny because my wife, Sarah, actually isn't much of an extrovert. She doesn't want to do the whole scene where she loves talking to her friends. She doesn't like talking to strangers. So like she links arms with Annette or myself, and we usually make that first step. And then she can engage after that hello, hi moment is over, right? So I mean, know your strengths and weaknesses. If you're good at talking to people, well, there you go. You don't even need you don't need any coaching. If you are reluctant to do that, or you're just exhausted at the end of the day, you need a buddy. You need a coach, and you need to go together, and you need to keep each other accountable. That's the best. That's the best thing I found in life. To like, I don't know, like all my success, all of it is directly related to having someone who's a partner, friend, coach that has held me accountable and pushed me beyond my comfort zone. Because if you want to just stay in your comfort zone, you are only going to accomplish average things. That's even great, talented, amazing people don't live up to their potential if they don't have somebody who's pushing them and pulling them and encouraging them to move on. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm thinking through some of, my most proud accomplishments, and I could say the same thing, that every single one was not necessarily because of, but only made possible because I had that support system. 100%.
Yeah, and quite frankly, I'll go. I mean, right today, like I'll go to some other networking events, or even going sometimes where I'm like, I just had the longest day ever. I'm not really in the mood. I don't want to drink. I don't want to eat. I honestly just want to go home. But maybe I just have it in myself to show up for 15 minutes, and it's okay to check out early. As long as I'm putting in the reps, maybe I just want to show up. I want to go with my buddy, if I maybe have a backup buddy, because sometimes they don't want to go either. And just show up for 15 minutes and see how it goes. It might be a waste of your time, but if you are an entrepreneur or you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to have the attitude that failure is just that next step towards success, right? So I look at failure as something that's just like, it's part of the game. And it just means that I'm getting that much closer to the next yes or the next success.
Yeah, 100%. And I love what Lizzie said. She said, she agrees too. She followed TFEs. Thanks for visiting. Went to a networking event, heard me speak. Now she owns rental properties and has a whole new career because coming to one networking event. I mean, can you imagine just a single of something like that can change your life? And I put this live stream on because I so powerfully believe in the power of networking.
Yeah. And let's take it beyond the networking event. Let's just talk about networking.
Yes.
So first of all, I think coaching is by hands down the best thing you can do, whether you're starting in your business or whether you're an expert, because coaches get coached. When you're paying for a coach, it doesn't have to be forever. It can be a temporary thing. It can just be a consultation, and you're actually paying not just for their expertise, but you're paying for their network, right? So when you go to college, I don't think I don't think as colleges as being for education. I'm not actually going there to learn, believe it or not. I got a master's in architecture. I didn't learn a whole lot there. What I did is I met two of my business partners that are now my business partners 20 years later. It's for the network. So any of these organizations, any of these people that you hire, whether it be free or paid, you know, it is about the people. It's always about the people.
It's always about the people, 100%. And we were talking earlier about like the analogy with a gym coach, and that you may be able to watch a ton of YouTube videos or TikTok videos of like, hey, do a squat this way and do this series of reps and you're going to see these results. Okay, but who's holding you accountable to doing it? And don't feel bad if you can't do that for yourself, because no one can. No one can. It is very hard to hold yourself accountable without a support system.
I will give a shout out to Quincy, who's probably not watching this, but he was my personal trainer last year. And the reality is, it's not cheap, and it might not be sustainable. But because of what I learned working with him, and like I showed up when we had an appointment, I showed up because it's costing me money.
Yeah.
And everything was catered to me, right? So maybe that's not where we start, but during that period, I was never better, right? And now that I'm getting older, I wanted that perspective from somebody who could potentially understand me, right? I wanted a man in his 40s who's like, oh, you're dealing with this, this, and this, and this. Let's do this. Let's take it slow. Let's work on these things. And it's like, I wanted the psychology.
You don't want to pull your back out.
Right. So which happens all the time when I'm
I
at
was
work.
making a joke about being old.
So yeah, your network really does kind of mold who you are too. So you want them to not just teach you, but understand you as well, right?
And Nick, I know that we have, again, known each other for a long time. And at a coin event years ago, you actually brought on one of your personal coaches who was helping in like systems processes, like some build out stuff. And tell me a little bit about like coaches you've hired and how that's changed your career.
Yeah, I love to experiment because as an entrepreneur, we don't always have the budget to just say you're hired $100,000 salary with your this, or even like a lot of coaches too are now asking for percentages of your profit, which it's a controversial topic too. So I like to have a conversation and I want to see if we work together first. So I always do trial with run. I say I'm all in for 30 days. What do I have to do? I'm doing this, but I'll hire people who specializes and will focus on their wheelhouse, right? So I've done productivity, we've done overall strategy, accounting stuff, sales stuff, like
sales coaching for sure.
Yeah, how do you be a better salesperson?
Yeah.
Not only that, how can you be a better service provider? So there's all these things that people are experts in, but if you really want to bring it together without hiring a team of individuals, if you're not ready, then you need to have the foundation for that. So then you can then start training your people to do it.
Yeah.
And then also once you start having a team of people, you can bring in coaches to train the whole team together. So, I mean, really it's just about staying hungry and being a good leader also, and then making sure you're making those connections with your team.
What would you say, like, of the different coaches or programs that you've been in, which one, you don't have to call it out, but like, what has been like the best outcome you've had from any of that?
I've hired a couple productivity coaches.
Okay.
And tools that I use now to automate certain things, email reminders, just my sales funnel, my project management funnels, my even when I'm doing requesting deals, like I'll actually get lazy and wait deals to come to me, which is why I grow a lot slower than some of my peers. But if I have a real estate funnel that my coach is telling me, have you checked this? Have you put in an offer lately? Are you doing anything? And I'm like, oh, well, it's the holidays. And well, the holidays is when people are having the same attitude as you, and you should be looking and try to find a deal right now because there are probably some out there. And
Nick, I say this all the time. I'm like, this is the best time to find deals because no one else is looking.
And I just had a friend who told me that today. And because I'm just like, I'm not looking for property right now.
But if you did, that's where the deals are. And you know what? That's where the motivated sellers are too, because who wants to sell their house during the holidays? Like only people who have to.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, well, this has, been absolutely great. It's been a long time coming, bringing you on the live stream for sure.
I appreciate it.
And let people know when can they see us at Coin?
Yeah. So every third Tuesday, except for in December, we have the Coin Meetup. It's at the Ohio Brewing Company, which is a great space that we have an event space in back. Drinks and food are provided by our amazing sponsors.
Yes.
And we almost always have a speaker that comes in that is in a relevant industry that will help you either build your business or at least give you a perspective of the journey of building a real estate portfolio and treating it as a business, which is going to guarantee your success or at least give you better odds of succeeding.
And this coming January, it's the 21st. It's probably I would say one of the biggest meetings of the year. This will be the third annual speed networking, where it is exactly what we're talking about, y'all. It is the opportunity to meet that next person who could change your business, change your life. And we're doing it like if you were the old school, like 90s speed dating, similar to that, where you got 2 minutes to talk to someone, introduce yourself, get to know them, etc. Lizzie just posted the link in the Facebook group. If y'all want to come, would absolutely love to have you there. It's on the 21st. And then, as you guys know, I teach people how to buy and manage long-term rentals, and our students are seeing so many of the benefits that Nick and I talked about today, from, just the systems, the process, the accountability, the really support system. Like when I got into coaching, I didn't realize how much I would be a therapist and talking people through like tough situations. But like that is all something that comes with the community, free or paid. So if y'all want to learn more about Rentals Made Easy method, Lizzie will post a link. We have a workshop that we're actually not having this week, but we will reach out to you with some more information. So cool, Nick. Any final words?
No, thank you for having me so much. This has been a lot of fun. And yeah, definitely try to make the Coin Meetup. We'd love to meet you.
Love to meet you. And I'm actually coming on Nick's podcast sometime in January. So y'all look out for that. What's your podcast name?
ArcFluence, which is the same name as our architecture firm. So we have a lot of fun there too. So
there you go. So yeah, we'll be back together. Appreciate it. And we will see you in the new year.
Thanks, Jesse.